Alrighty, how's everybody doing out there? That's a bit bright. So it's VD Day, V Day, Valentine's Day. So my first one single in 19 years. Um, so yeah, like I said in the description, good, we got good speed. They're gonna be speaking in very broad fucking generalities. Probably a lot of use of stereotypical stuff, but I'm going to do some diving into those as I can. So if anybody's jumping in or whatever, please tune into the beginning and say where I'm saying this part right here, or it's just broad generalities. If it wasn't for these broad generalities actually existing, we wouldn't have the stereotypes, and we also wouldn't have the jokes that we have. I mean, like every sitcom, relationship humor is all the same. The people get together, the lady gets married, they get married and the lady doesn't put out, I mean, the guy's frustrated, sexually frustrated. Yeah, I mean, just on and on. It's the same jokes that they use all the time that they've been using forever because it's broad generality. Not everybody does this, but enough that it is, so. Um, that being said, in the late 90s, mid 90s, I believe, they had the Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus books. I think there were a couple of them to kind of like the Chicken Soup for the Soul. Um, that came out, and that started a whole, um, also for Dummies. I think that came out around that time too, and so so. Um, but yeah, that book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, was trying to do what I'm talking about now, highlighting the differences in men and women and why there's such a problem with the communication between the two. And I didn't agree with the book when I started to read it. I hit like a few things I disagreed with, and I was just like, yeah, it's not. I understand what they're saying, but there's no reason to go any further. You know what I mean? Just because like if you hit like a logical fallacy, there's just no reason to continue on this, sir. There just isn't. So it was just wrong, and so I stopped reading it, and that's when I started coming up with my own ideas. And I was like, it's actually, I mean, I hear what he's saying, but it's more actually, if you look at it, it's more like GI Joe versus Barbie, honestly. Um, and what do I mean by that? How? Okay, so we'll start with Barbie because it's kind of making a comeback and whatever. But um, there were some things pointed out in there that I won't say upset about, but it's like that's kind of like what I was stepping on my idea that I had. Of course, I had all this time to write a book and I didn't do it, so I can't really be too mad. But like first off, like Ken is so inconsequential in the Barbie world. Ken is just so fucking just like not even necessary. What was his fucking job? What did he do for a living? I mean, there now and again there was like a Doctor Ken or whatever, but it wasn't because he was pursuing his dream. It was so that it would match Barbie, wasn't it? Um, did Barbie have any enemies? Yes. Yes, she did. No, it was. Yes, she did. How? Anyone who got in Barbie's way was an enemy, wasn't it? And Barbie demolished them, didn't she? With her smarts and her looks and good, goodwill, all that stuff. She just destroyed them, didn't she? People telling her how to do stuff and whatever. Well, Your Honor, I object. I'm a lawyer today. I'll be a doctor tomorrow, but today I'm a lawyer. And Your Honor, I object to the, you can see the preponderance of evidence is clearly with my client. And everybody just cheers how Barbie just cracked it. She cracked the thing. She broke the case. She did. And the client walked free. And she had a surgery. She never loses a patient. Are you kidding? That's Barbie. Best doctor ever. She'll fix your dog. Get your dog up here. Well, while I'm taking out your appendix, I'll just go ahead and grab those nuts, and we'll just go ahead and suture your dog, everything up, and it would be, yeah. Why not? I'm also a veterinarian on the weekends. When I'm not being a beach model. Or, high-powered Barbie, whatever the power suit, you know what I mean? The Hillary Clinton of Barbies. Whatever that one is. But there's no difference. You see, it's all Barbie. Barbie. And it's just, Ken, again, is just along for the ride. Whereas G.I. Joe, there's a team. There's a clearly defined enemy who they're fighting. Cobra. And those guys are clearly the bad guys, and they even dress and look like bad guys. They got like the dark clothes, and it's very simplistic. You don't want to give kids too much. You're already teaching them warfare at that age. You don't want to give them too much, right? Too much to reality. As long as they can make it to something they can. Matter of fact, every guy toy pretty much had an enemy. He-Man. And then when we get punished or in trouble, we get sent to our rooms where our toys are. And we act out these fights. And people wonder why we don't talk about our feelings and we more resort to violence. That's what we're taught. It's literally what we're trained. They have done studies, and this got me, I won't say in trouble, but people looked at me like I was saying some bad shit. I can understand why, because it's not gonna be popular. I don't give a fuck. Truth is never popular. They did studies and found that even the most attentive moms took longer to get to their sons than they did to get to their daughters. If you don't understand what the difference of that and why that would matter, understand that the most attentive still took a while. In other words, toughen up. I'll be in there in a little bit. From a baby. Well, someone's got to teach him that fucking the world is a shitty place, and you might as well start learning now. What about her? Oh, daddy's little angel's got to get. You know what I mean? Even dads do it. Go running in there. Men especially, because we're trained to, basically when women are crying, to put out that fire. If you're a good dude. If you're a bad dude, of course not. I mean, you might be like Dennis and be like, now the tears are working for me, but other than that, you're gonna have to get out of my apartment, please. You know what I mean? That you got those kind of fucking freaks, but those aren't men. That's another thing. We gotta stop labeling boys as men and the behavior of boys as men don't do any of that shit. Men do not cheat. Men do not cheat. They handle their shit. They do what they gotta fucking do. Just like women don't cheat. Real women, little girls, young ladies, little boys, guys and dudes, They cheat. They play games. They do that shit. Men and women have no problems with each other at all. Because men are actually doing what the fuck they're supposed to be doing, and women are doing what the fuck they're supposed to be doing. What is that supposed to mean? That's supposed to mean that whatever the fuck you're supposed to be doing, it's what you're doing. Whatever you need for you and your partner to make a relationship work, you're doing it. Whatever that is. That's what I mean. You're doing what is necessary to make the relationship you want work. That's what I mean. No, I don't mean to any like fuck the guy can be doing the fucking chores and that's bull that's just daily chores. That's just bullshit. That really doesn't mean anything, but some of you people out there would be willing to fucking ruin a happy relationship over fucking dishes. Over dishes, over clothes, over just nonsense bullshit. The 80-20 rule definitely applies in this because the average person could have 80% of their needs met and then still step out in the relationship for that 20% that they're lacking, depending on who that person is and what part of that 20%. I mean, if that 20% is like the most important 20%, because not all percents are made equal, are they? Liking the way someone dresses or brushes their teeth, you know what I mean, or whatever. That's very low down compared to, are they a good dad? Do they treat you right? Are they nice? Can they make you laugh? Can they treat you with respect? These things are far more important. Yeah, I could give a shit less about the clothes and dishes and shit like that. It just, and if that's an important thing to you, then you gotta figure out why you're not really ready for a relationship with a human because you're already in one with some plates. You're already in one with your cat or your dog, so you don't have any room for other people. You have room for exactly the model, mold, and whatever that fits that. There's a lot of people running around talking about like, oh, that's a dream, that's a fantasy. These women have these fairy tale dreams. It's not that you have a fairy tale dream that's unattainable. It's how you try to go about attaining it. Seriously. Whatever you want in this world is out there. It's out there. It may not look the way you thought it should be. It may not be in the place you were looking for it. This is a big fucking world, and so for you to have like this dream of this perfect person, and you just both happen to be born in the same town, or they just happen to, you know what I mean, this serendipitously that you don't have to do shit at all. Just sit there and they just arrive. I get the whole childhood sweetheart thing. That does happen. It does. More than likely, if you actually check with them, they'd probably be like, either they just knew, and or they make it work. Because there's actual love in there, you know what I mean? From the young age when had like this idealistic, no one stepped in and fucked up the dream. You know when you're a kid, mommies and daddies and whatever combination you had when people don't cheat and that kind of shit, you know what I mean? When you're a kid. Well, they found someone who had that exact same kind of mentality and no one fucked with them. And they stayed together and they didn't fuck each other over. And so you can make it work. But what happens is you start getting like, for whatever reason, selfishness, greed, whatever, you fuck someone over. You fuck yourself over. Now your suspicions, now that person's suspicions raised. Now you can't have you know what I mean? Because every time you see someone that fucking is doing this with a spoon, it's like, that's exactly, you know what I mean? That's what they would. Yeah, what kind of cologne was that? You know what I mean? That kind of shit. Just like, you know what I mean? When they're what they're trying to do with Barack Obama, Hussein, because like, you know, I mean, if you had a name like Adolf Robinson, and old Adolf Robinson over here, I didn't pick the name. You could change it. I know I could, but I mean, then it's gonna look like I'm trying to hide something, right? Like, oh, he used to be Adolf. Did you know that? You know, no, I'm not hiding from anything. If I prefer, you know, not being called Adolf, if you don't mind. Olaf, I got a lot of stuff. Like, there's a lot of things I go by. Hey, man. I go by a lot of things rather than Adolf, but yeah, my parents decided that was going to be a funny thing to do. Though they didn't know that I was going to be running for president, right? He's not going to get very far with that name. Why? Because he has a name they didn't choose? He, she, what if it's a woman? You know what I mean? Jesus fucking Christ, man. What the fuck? What are we doing here? Well, his name sounds like pain. Okay. So does rain. So does stain. So does a lion's mane. So does Fontaine. What are you trying to say, man? Are we doing some kind of Phoebe shit where things that rhyme are true? If it sounds the same, they must be the same. It doesn't even rhyme, dude. That doesn't even rhyme. If they share a name, they must be the same. That would rhyme. But it still doesn't make Bob and Bob. You know what I mean? Frank and there's what the fuck are we doing, dude? What the fuck are you? God, they love to stress Hussein like that. You know, it's automatically an indictment. Like he came out of the one like, oh, hi. Before you slap me on the ass, doc, I want to be clear. My name's Obama, Barack Hussein Obama. Yeah, like the dictator that I don't have any idea about right now. Yep, just like HusseinEin. Go ahead, now slap me. I'm gonna be your president one day, and you're gonna regret that. I'm going to pass the Affordable Care Act, and we're going to limit how much fucking money you get, you asshole. Well, that's the whole thing about the Affordable Care Act, was just limiting doctors' pay so they could stop slapping babies. Because Barack's still fucking pissed. And you get to Washington, D.C., and it's just a bunch of little fucking kid mentalities. Like, yeah, I'm pissed about that too, man. Who's that doctor think he is just laying his hands on me like that? Well, then you could ask if I can breathe. You don't have to smack me. Find if he can breathe. Oh, yeah, he can swallow. What if that was, I was also thinking, okay, so imagine you're a baby. You're exiting the darkness. You've never used your eyes before like Neo. You had fresh on the Nebuchadnezzar. Why do my eyes hurt? You slowly start doing some of this shit, which of course never is really good, and there's a big old bright fucking operating light in your eyes. You're a baby, you can't fucking say shit. You can't move. Your muscles, you've been doing this shit for you've been a fucking loaf of bread for 9 fucking months, man. And they took the packaging out, and you still don't know how to fucking decompress from that shit. My daughter took like fucking two weeks to stop sleeping with her knees up in her chest. And slowly but surely, like, as the 2 weeks are going, it's just slowly but surely her feet just start, you know, getting used to not being cramped into a little fucking package. Inflated. So, yeah. A stereotype amongst men and women, men looking at women, is that the men wish women would be more logical, and women wish men would be more emotional, empathetic. enough that, like I said, the stereotype exists there. Oh, why are women so emotional? Oh, why are women... Instead of looking at what's actually going on. Okay, if you're more emotional and I'm more logical, the word love doesn't mean the same thing to both of us, does it? But we both can mean it, can't we? Because we mean different things. They're in the same ballpark. Sex. These things are emotional words, but they're also logical words, aren't they? Which is why we divide, sex into, you got sex, you have making love, and then you have fucking. Making love seems to be more about like both people making each other feel the best they can feel. Sex is a bit more like, you care, you hope it fucking works out, but you're not going for yours, but it's. Then fucking is just you're going for yours. Both people going for their own. You know what I mean? So, there's nothing wrong with all three. Nothing wrong with all three. Variety is the spice of life, dude. If you can find someone you can be that way with in all all three, then or if you don't have all those, you don't have that range, whatever your range is that you have. I only like down the center. I only like very nice. I only like fucking whips and chains or fucking get the fuck out of here. And the problem is that you don't. It's not wrong to want these things. It's wrong to try and force other people into that mold that you've already. Like I said, you have a life. Imagine that family there. The family, a guy and his dog, and he's got his life and he's got his apartment and whatever and shit. Well, a woman who doesn't believe in owning pets, that's not gonna work out. You know what I mean? You start to whittle away your dating pool. That's why you see these virtually angry dating profiles. No this, no that, none of this. You must have this. It's like again. You might as well put up a big old broadcast sign like, the last guy who fucked me over had no job. The last guy who fucked me over had no car. You must have a car. Okay. I mean, sure. Let's pop in a little bit. There, bring it down a bit. There we go. Now we're not going to pop it all. Your political affiliation nowadays, especially since it's like, again, there was somebody who was saying, I never thought that in 2025, there was a single lady. She's like, there's a single woman that I would have to put down in my dating profile that I'm not interested in dating a Nazi. It's fucking 2025, man. But that could lead me into politics, which I'm not going to go down, not in this one. But yeah, by looking at the world in different ways like that, like I said, the very structure of words mean different things. The fact that we are left to cry it out, men are left to, guys, boys, whatever, are left to cry it out, explains a little bit more of our attitude. Like when things are broken, we find a way to fix it. Why? Because no one's coming. You get it? No one's coming. No one fucking cares. Cry your fucking eyes out. And when you're done, start figuring out a way to fix it, because no one's coming and still no one cares. And ladies can't understand why we're not like rushing to do the what? What are you even talking about? This is caring. You see what I'm saying? That's all we know. What the fuck are you talking about? Nurture. What the fuck are you mean? What? Would you not admit you must be nurtured in order to understand how to nurture? Right. Well, you ladies seem to know how to do it, and we don't. And you're always talking about guys who are looking for someone to nurture them. I wonder why. I wonder why. Maybe the parents didn't do any of that shit. But you don't care. Because now it's a burden on you, this person that you say to love. You profess to love, right? But then you have to do stuff for them, and now they're a burden, and you gotta go. Because Barbie doesn't have those problems. Barbie's a lawyer today. She's a doctor tomorrow. She's gonna be this, and you're slowing shit the fuck down here, guy. I'm not a mommy until like next week. And even then, it's not to you. And all this time, guys are waiting for this love to kick in, you know? That we keep hearing about. If you do the right things, if you're nice, if whatever. We don't really get compliments. We really don't get anything. Women have this thing about, I don't want to give you any compliments because I don't want to give you a big head. Because more than likely, that's what you do. More than likely, you have a big head because your DM box is bursting with cock trying to get into you. Ladies, do you think your dude would put up with you yelling at him if his fucking DM box was bursting with women trying to throw a vagina at him? Even if it's like, look, you can get laid, but you won't find someone to... No, I won't. I can make a sandwich. Then just throw the paper plate away. My DM box is bursting. You can go ahead and leave. You think the guy would just sit there and listen to you fucking talking about shit? Why do you think you guys don't listen to us talk about shit? You don't have to. That's why you don't care. You don't have to. Guys are constantly, desperately throwing themselves at you. And women are constantly holding back any and everything. I don't want to let him know I like him. Why? You might get fucking laid. You might fucking find the guy you like if you let him know you like him. In this day and age, you guys neither want us to approach you nor leave you alone. You want us to make the first move as long as you've approved it. So you have to do like a subtle, like a wink or a nod to let us know. But you know what can happen? You can get something in your eye and we look at the wrong time and you're kind of like, you don't even know we're there. And like, hey, how's it going? We're a creep. And then now we're a fucking creep. I'm sorry, you looked over my direction. And I'm supposed to read this fucking vibe or whatever. And you smiled at me. So? Women don't smile at guys. Fuck, you haven't... Like with the dudes that you really don't have this with women as much. Again, I can't remember the name of what the actual condition is, but basically like someone just meets someone and then just like intense loving feelings and shit like that, you know, that aren't really based on real stuff, you know? It happens to dudes, and dudes get like obsessively fixated. This woman probably, think about how sad that is. This woman said like hi and was nice to him. It might have been the first person. It might be in his fucking life, first female. Because everyone else is so mean. It's like, oh, okay, this is one that actually likes me. Especially if you're awkward and you're weird, and most people are kind of, you know, you nerdy fucking guy, come in, fix your computer or whatever, you know what I mean? And definitely not on your top radar of like, you know, hey, thanks. And, you know, you see his name tag, thanks, Chris. And like, she knows my name. It's on your fucking name tag, dude, but he's not thinking about that. Why does that happen? Because these people are starved. Why do women get the idea that, a man should pick me up, do this, that, this, and this? I was thinking earlier today and I love, trust me, I love women. I'm not trying to bash women at all. I'm not. I promise you I'm not. Um, we can't, men and women are not communicating correctly, and that causes problems like double standards. And while women think that they are the only ones that, there's double standards for guys all the time. There's double standards for women. Well, you don't know what ours is, and we don't know what yours are, and we can't know what it's like to have a period. We can't know what it's like to have a baby. We just can't. Even the period simulator, you guys can try it on and say that if it's what it feels like to have a cramp, but we still don't. I don't know that's what it actually feels like. I don't know that's what it actually feels like. And since you don't have my nerves, just how it affects you does not mean it doesn't affect us differently. Right? Because we don't have like the uterus to contract and shit. So if our uterus tries to contract, it might hurt a little bit worse. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a muscle trying to flex that yours flexes all the time, once a month. There isn't even the right stuff there to do. I mean, that's what those cramps are, right? To push things out and get things out, right? Right? We don't have that, so what the fuck are we supposed to push out? So you guys, you can't take a fucking period simulator. Maybe it's squeezing our fucking kidneys and shit in a weird fucking way that doesn't happen to you when you guys put it on because you have the right receptors to do that. We will never know. We'll never know unless we have like a person who is like a intersex. Has both. And even then, we still couldn't translate that over to male. You know what I mean? Which side of you was feeling? We can never verify that what I see as green for this shirt is the same green. Never verify. This is what I was talking about earlier. Words mean different things. If this is yellow to you, what I see is yellow, but you call it green. Once again, we're both talking about the color green, but you see yellow. What I would see is yellow. This green shirt, and you're like, yeah, that green shirt. I don't know what you see, so I can't say. People they're talking about how you can't describe sight to a blind person. I was like, surely you can. Sure you can. No, because every word you would use, blue. Never seen blue before. Person born blind. What's blue? No, not cold. I mean, most things that are cold are, but you wouldn't know. Dark? No, you wouldn't know dark either. It's kind of, no, you wouldn't know that either. Yeah, no, I can't describe it to you, sorry. But it seems like it'd be so easy, right? Yeah, the sunset's got a red color. What's red? Right. You know when? No, you don't know orange. You know what I mean? So, there's things to be done. Trying to understand. Like I said, I'm trying to understand, and by trying to understand, I do understand a lot more. But in order to have a conversation, you have to know what I'm talking about too, right? Otherwise, we're still having this disconnect of what I'm saying to you. I understand what you're saying. Now I've looked at and understand. I've changed my ways a bit, and I understand what you're saying now. And yes, I do love you. But, you're still not hearing me. That's all right. We're taking care of this as long as you understand what I'm saying. Like I said, no one's coming. No one's coming. You're on your own. Right? Because like a lot of women are nowadays, especially talking about what the guy needs to do this, and then the guy has the nerve to ask me what I bring to the table. I am the table. So when you're an inanimate object that things are served on, I don't need one of those. I don't. Well, the guy's got to do, I got other things to do. I don't have to do anything. I don't owe you anything. We've never met before. Sorry if the world's been mean to you, but it's been mean to me too. Really mean. And you don't owe me anything, so I don't owe you jack or shit. Even if we're together for 10 years, I don't owe you anything. Not even my love. I don't owe you. We've got to get that shit out of our heads, man. The part about, like I said, the fantasy, you can have it, but you may have to fucking move around a little bit. Kind of like me learning Russian. Because I give a fuck. If nothing else, if I get the chance to meet this person, I want to be able to actually have a conversation with her. Not just me understanding, I want to have a two-way conversation. Plus, she decided to cuss me out. And I'm like, I heard that shit. I am not. It's not small. Mention my ass. It just means less. So, I don't know. Sometimes I think I've lost my mind. Other times I think I was born with that one. And I'm just fine with that. I'm cool with it. Oh, I forgot my spinach. But things like Valentine's Day. I've never liked Valentine's Day. I don't feel like there should have to be a day. I mean, if you have to set aside a day for that, then you already lost. You're already not doing your job as a husband. If your wife feels the need to set aside a fucking day, we're gonna set aside a day, okay? And you're actually gonna love me, because that's what Valentine's Day basically is. And it's never really, aside from sex, women really aren't expected to do much of anything, are they? But guy, you gotta get a plan. You gotta make sure it's right. You gotta get the right restaurant. Gotta do that shit. And you gotta get the right wines and stuff. You know what I mean? It's a combination. It's a combination lock there to them panties. If you don't hit that combination correctly, it was the worst Valentine's Day ever. He got me red roses. He knows I like white. I've told him 100 times. Really 100? 3. I can't help it. He was asleep. Yeah. Again, why is he? Why does anybody owe you anything? You don't owe anybody anything, and nobody owes you anything. Now we're equal. There are a lot of things we could do to make things equal, but we have to honestly be equal. We have to have equal responsibility, equal accountability, equal work, equal pay. I'm all for it. I think 100%. I don't think there's any reason why they should not go that way. There is no reason why it shouldn't. And there are more and more women that are coming out now. There's Emily King. There's several people like that. There's one lady. She's starting like a whole. She's trying to start a whole thing because basically she went to therapy, couples therapy with her husband. They were on the very edge. I believe he might have even either he did cheat or was going to, I don't know, but she was talking about how basically it was just her. She was saying how like that she was thinking the whole time it was him. He's being whatever, and then she's like, but when I got married to him, I kind of pledged to be his source of sex until we die. Kind of pledged. Kind of took an oath and signed a contract that I was going to handle that for him. And in exchange, he doesn't have to step out of the relationship or go find anybody else. And then I wasn't doing my part of that. I wasn't holding up my end of the contract. If you get married, you are each other's source of that fucking oxytocin. And it'll just bind you closer together if you do it right. That's all. That's what it's supposed to do, anyways. Ladies, you want to talk about agency? Have some agency with your fucking husband. And if he's not doing it right, say something. I guarantee you he's not happy about it. Do you ever think about that? You just, you know what I mean? If you're not, I get it. Believe me, I get it. I understand. You should know. I can hear all the. You should know. I know. I get it. I do. I understand all of it. Like I said, it's not from my side to understand it. I get it. I get why women want. Because actually, if you want to get honestly and down dirty about it, you're not wrong, ladies. Should be able to basically read the mind. It's not that they read your mind, it's that they want the same thing at the same time. They might be looking at it from a different angle, but you both are thinking food around the same time, if you will, among other things. Not 100%. That'd be fucking ridiculous. But let's try and keep the arguing to the absolute bare minimum, if any. Because there's no really reason to if you just are honest, but diplomatic about it. You know, to make a big public show about your disapproval of stuff. You don't make it known the second you disapprove of something. I'm gonna get to the car. I'm gonna have to. That wasn't for both people. That wasn't. Oh, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It wasn't cool at all. I was doing that for about 30 minutes. You just mean I was out there just making an ass of myself at the zoo for nothing? Yep. I thought it looked just like a chimpanzee. Nope. People were laughing. Oh, they were laughing at you, not with you. Ah, that makes sense. I did get hit with a banana though. I thought they were buying it, but I think he was just had an extra peel laying around. So it all comes down to understanding. Without understanding, you can't have communication because communication is not the presence of words. Communication is the presence of understanding between people. Like I said, talk all day about the color blue. But if what I call blue you see as red, I'm not talking about the same thing. And how do you know? You should tell. And you can definitely tell when it's not getting communication across. And we gotta stop labeling people as defective because they don't fit into like our pre-described mold. Like I was saying, you already have this mold of whatever it is, and when they don't fit into it, we have to tell the world how bad they are. Especially in this day and age. You won't believe how bad this date went. Whether for a laugh or clicks or for whatever. Some people actually name the person's name and shit. Start filming them like on the date. This guy took me to Subway sandwiches. Yes, Subway. Eat fresh. All I could afford. Sorry, man. On top of that, I mean, it's like, what's the steak dinner first date shit, man? There should be like no price limit on the first date. It should honestly be something free and something not in public. Where you're less likely to get. That way you're not putting any money into it, so you're not feeling like invested to something. Just by paying for like, even gas and shit, you kind of feel invested to have a, just stay and have a good time or something like that, like, unless a person's like a real fucking ass. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and call this shit. We're good. But yeah, just somewhere, the park, so I can go for a walk, somewhere you can talk to the person. And that's kind of the way you can find out if you're on the same page. You talk. If the person never talks about anything you're interested in, don't date them. But they're really hot. Don't care. Don't care. The end result could be married with kids in a loveless marriage. Or your kid's divorced. No? Oh, I use protection. There's no protection besides abstinence. There's just not. Condom break, forgot to take a pill, any of that shit. Nowadays, fucking Republicans working in the fucking pharmacy swapping out like sugar pills for your fucking birth control. Ooh, you took it today, didn't you? Yeah, you took it today. Tell me that's not something that they would do. That one lady deciding to not to hand out fucking wedding marriage certificates because her religion doesn't believe in fucking gay marriages. Fuck you. That's not your job. Not as long as I can get a license. Well, my religion. You know what? Your state where you work. That's why I'm not filing with you, bitch. You realize that, right? I'm not filing with you. I'm getting the paperwork from you. You have to file the paperwork. But I'm filing with the state. Because they require it. So do your fucking job. Well, I don't give a fuck about your religion. You want to know why? Because you're probably wrong. As long as you're hurting someone in your religion, you're probably wrong. It's pretty self-evident that the fucking universe kind of cares. We were born on a planet that has oxygen. We could have all been born in a fucking place that has low oxygen. Like our kids are going to be probably big. Kids are going to be fucking born into if this world keeps going. The way it's going anyways. No cooperation between people because they're different. They're doing the... Yeah, it's just stupidity, man. We're all human beings. You don't see Rottweilers and whatever doing this type of shit except for when you put them in a fucking kennel and you start breeding them. Speaking of, how is that not paid rape? You bring your dog over to this other person's dog. What if they don't want to do it? That dog, in nature, a dog can overpower another dog. That's what's happening. Of course, you're just inside with the owner and shut the door. Let nature take its course. Then why did you have to get involved, fuckface? Why did you pin one in the backyard? You had to bring yours from your pen over to their pen to go in the back pen to go do the nature job. See, your shit doesn't make sense. There's not much nature left in human nature. Not much at all. In fact, most of us are kind of a bit repelled by the woods in nature. There's nothing out here. Oh no. What if something happens? Like what? Like a heart attack. Oh, right, because if we're in the city, you're gonna live. Well, I mean, no, but I mean, chances are better. Are they? Are they? Are they? Yeah, we have a fire truck and all this. Boy, if they can get to you. It's fucking snowy outside right now, man. They really haven't been plowing the roads very well. So much of, yeah, let's take talking about women and men. Women and men across the ocean, they now begin to pour out from the boat and up the shore. I love They Might Be Giants. If we can get our communication worked out, we could be honest with each other, and then, like I said, like when the first date's not working out, it's not working out. Do you want to keep trying it and see? Like, sometimes it doesn't work out. You want to try it again, like tomorrow, because this is not going well at all. No, it's not. Do you even want to try it? No, I don't. Okay, cool. Have a good night. You want me to take you home, or you want to get? Not really. I'll catch an Uber. You know, I'll be all right. You go ahead and that bad? Yeah, it's pretty bad. But you're being honest. And then again, it's bad for you. What you find like ick or whatever, some other lady may find absolutely fucking fascinating. What some guy won't do for you, some other dude will gladly do. And vice versa. You know, what one some woman won't do, there's a woman out there that does it. There's no reason to try and force people to do stuff that they don't want to fucking do or try and convince, you know what I mean? It's even in a dating relationship, no means no. That's all there is to it, man. But then comes the selfishness of I want what I want. And if you can't get there, that little 20% that you can't get, never mind the person's a loving person. The person is attentive and all this other stuff. But this little deviant thing that you want to do is not, they don't want to do it. Now, is it that important to you? Because if so, ruin that other 80% because you got 80% of what you want. I fault no one. I'm not making any judgments. If that 20% is the important 20%, get the fuck out. It doesn't matter if they have 80% of everything else. The 20% that's important is what's important. Get the fuck out. You've now identified the problem. You now know why there's a sadness or there's a whatever. You now have identified it. You can make, there are two things you can do. Make the situation known. If you haven't, if you already have, get out. Just fucking go. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's ever going to change. Nothing will ever change. It's not. So just go. If you've made it known, go. If you haven't made it known and you think it's worth fighting for, make it known. If it doesn't seem important to them immediately, go. If it's not important immediately because they're like, oh shit, I had no idea. I'm not saying that they have to have that exact reaction, but I'm not, you know what I mean? If they're not, if not a priority, you don't see any direction moving in that direction within the next few days, go. Because it's not going to change. People don't change. Don't change. They learn new tricks. They learn from consequences. Really, that's the biggest teacher of human beings. Consequence. And so when you have no accountability, you have no consequence. So you have no lesson learned. The thing about a lesson learned is you don't repeat the thing that caused the lesson to be learned. Because last time you got a lesson learned and it was it was an ass kicking. So if you keep repeating this shit, you apparently didn't get fucked up enough. You haven't figured out what is going on with you. I've said before, and it's not my saying or anything like that, but if you're dating people and they all seem to have the same fault, it's a good chance it's you. Not judging, just saying, just at least humor the thought. Sit in a room by yourself and don't just answer immediately like, am I the problem? No. Am I the problem? Try and flash back over all the fucking arguments. Not how do you feel about the argument, what actually started it. Not who won. It doesn't matter. Seriously, it doesn't matter who won. Who started the argument? Because that's the problem. Well, he won't pick it. But you started an argument with him, right? Yeah, you're the problem. If you just pick it, no, that's a you problem. I told my ex, she was telling me some whatever. I'm like, you asked me like I kicked off my shoes and I like just whatever. And she's like picking him up and she's moving. She's like, I wish you wouldn't. I'm like, I pay the rent here. I pay for that patch of fucking carpet. I pay for that patch of carpet. I pay for that patch of carpet. I took the shoes and I fucking put them back where I had them. I was like, that's where I want them. And that's where they'll fucking stay. Because that's what I pay for. I don't need a mom. I don't need someone to come up and clean behind me. I put my shoes exactly where I wanted them to be. Matter of fact, I threw one over there. It's like, that's where I want that one. And that's where I want that one. I'm not the problem here. If you're so anal that you can't stand shoes on the floor, that's a you problem. Well, they're not in order. That sounds like an OCD problem. Which would again be a you problem, not me. I'm not helping. I get that. But me causing you? No. That's all up here. That's all up in you. The looking out. Why won't you change? Oh, that's right, because there's things that I want. You may want to have your shoes in. I don't want that. I'm going to leave. See how that works? Long before there's any kids involved. Long before there's any even fucking possible. Hopefully, if you're smart, before there's even sex involved. I hope you understand, like, but we don't, obviously. Because there's women out there right now cleaning up after some dude going, oh, just leaving his underwear everywhere. I got 4 kids. It's like I got 4 kids. He wasn't acting that way before. Did he just all of a sudden retire from being an adult male when you had kids? Did he stop cleaning himself correctly and taking his clothes off and picking stuff up? It was like that before? So you already had a kid when you got knocked up by a kid? That doesn't sound very responsible. That doesn't sound like a very good mom, if I'm being honest. Getting fucked over by like a little kid? Not very good momming. What are you going to do when your kid starts coming up? That kid's going to take advantage of you. He's going to fuck you over. You usually just go around fucking little children that won't clean their own shit? No? Then why are you married to one? Why are you going to your friends complaining about how you have another child? Guys, why are you going to tell your friends, you're such a bitch? Well, then fucking get the fuck out, you stupid fuck. Again, her DM box is bursting with cock. It's like Raisin Bran of fucking dick. 2 scoops, heaping helpings. Every fucking woman. You do too. You don't know it. I guarantee any fucking woman can go out her front fucking door. Scream free pussy. Go back inside the day and like yell your address. There'll be a line. Word will get around town. Some people may show up later than other people. Like, I don't want people seeing me showing up here. I'm not saying that won't happen. Free pussy. I'm not. Wait till dark. No one sees me going over there. Not saying I would. I'm saying there's guys that are. Oh, until later and see if we can go by there. It's free. Hey, it's free. Yeah, no, it's just crazy, man. This whole world is insane, and we're all acting like it's not. It's like any of this shit makes sense, man. None of this shit makes any fucking sense. We're all fucking just fumbling around making that bullshit shit and then act like there's rules. Like a day called Valentine's Day. What the fuck is that? Fuck off. The fact that it's Friday. Oh, really? I know it's daytime. As far as actual, I don't remember. I mean, I see calendars all the time, but shared psychosis doesn't make it real. To quote, like, dude, just because everybody thinks that up is down doesn't mean it's true. A lot of people fucking voted for Donald Trump. How's that working? Huh? How's that working? How's that working out? How's that? Is it great yet? Are you tired of winning yet? Huh? Tired of winning yet? Are you tired of winning yet? Because, I mean, seriously, until they're not going to be able to move until you guys admit that you're tired of winning. And when you admit you're tired of winning, then they have the will of the people and they can move. They can't move right now because they're still worried you're going to freak the fuck out and start a civil fucking war. Because last time, you fucking attacked the Capitol. Right? Yeah. So imagine now that he's back in office. What are they thinking? We're going to have to open fire on these motherfuckers if we take him out. We want to take him out of office now before any more real damages happen. He's going to end the Department of Education. I hope you like speaking in emojis, motherfucker. Seriously, I'm not even kidding. Have you seen the movie Idiocracy? Watch it. Check it out. Go get it. Idiocracy. Mike Judge. Nailed it. He's projected way in the future. Nah. Next Tuesday. Shit. House of Representing. Oh my god, dude. In the movie, the president is a wrestling reality TV porno star. Herbert Mountain Dew Camacho. I don't remember what it is. It's something fucked up. It's Terry Crews and one of his best. Until I write Hercule Leroy. And I unleash Hercule Leroy on the world. And then everybody's going to know what blaxploitation's all about. Alright. So that's going on an hour. We gotta get to where we're actually talking to each other better. Honesty. You have to be honest. You have to be open. Because without it, I mean, really, what else? Again, what are we doing? You're sneaking off to read emails and shit. You're, there's absolutely no reason to cheat because we live in a world with the internet, and there are people that want to do that. I guess unless your thrill is them not knowing and fucking people over, in which case you're sick. That's part of the fun. It's you can't act. You can't. You know what I mean? Like you get like a person that you're actually with, and you guys pretend like you know what I mean. So that way you're not actually hurting anybody. You go through the whole shit of, trying to fuck them over by like them not knowing, but you know that they're fucking someone else, and so that way you're not going crazy when if they're fucking somebody because you know they're fucking somebody else, and they're not going crazy because they know you're fucking somebody else, and they're okay with it. And both of you are just being this little treacherous drama show that stars the two of you, and the rest of us don't have to get involved in it. You two and all your swinger friends, you know what I mean? Just leave us alone. Find some kind of fucking handshake to do, or like a hand signal. There's lots of them. There's not the thumbs up. I'm sure there's probably something you can come up with that's probably pretty cool. Definitely don't want to be doing like this, What am I gonna do? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna head on out of here, and I'm gonna wish you a happy Valentine's Day, and yeah, happy Valentine's Day, Valentine's Day, and if you're with someone and you love them, fucking love them. It's not that hard. Just fucking love them. Stop holding whatever you're holding back. Stop fucking holding back. If you actually love them, stop holding back anything. Stop. You're gonna be much happier tomorrow morning. If you love someone, let them know. Don't waste any time because we're not here. Sometimes people slip away. Accidents, overdoses, burglaries, car wrecks, thousands of things you can't plan for. And again, do you really want the person that you claim to love to not know everything before you check out? Even if it's unrequited. I don't. I don't want to go out like that. I don't want to go out at all, but if I gotta go out, I just want to go out and go. That was pretty good ride. That was pretty good. It had to end sometime, man. That was a pretty good ride. That was fun. Happy Valentine's Day.